I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression.
What?
Mizkif waited the literal second after Voldemort went offline.
I believe it was the end. I moved in with him. I believe it was the end of 2021 because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together, and I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022.
Why is XQC like, oh my god, they were in a relationship? Like, what is that?
After I joined, I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know.
But the brain is going faster. That's the thing.
One, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually.
Also, it was hidden.
They're not fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but that's just, you know, making that clear for details.
Guys, there's so much gossip and rumors.
He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was.
There's got to be a
nice
rumor. That's what he said.
Gossip and rumors.
He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate. And we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for feelings of safety, social life, like my stream,
Safety?
my job, everything.
Isn't that why we heard? Safety?
So, yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. I thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with, and even when I would stream.
What?
So, when...
Why are you saying true? What? How would you know that?
It was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening.
Damn, dude.
At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles. Like,
he's not speaking in 2x, Vishal. That's the thing.
like,
even if you slow it down, you won't understand what he said.
telling him
That's
like,
the thing.
I didn't like it, and it scared me, and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always...
Dude, how do people like this even exist, man?
It's an
How do they even
accident.
exist?
And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that, you know, he's... Yeah, I just...
It's like she's almost about to break down.
At the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of my boundaries. Kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of my boundaries. So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close. And then, again, a very public situation.
Guys, don't either downplay it, like...
The end of 2022, the
like
cover-up allegations happened.
throwing shit somebody's never okay, buddy.
I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can
Some of this shit is never okay, buddy.
find all
That's
that.
what he said.
Like, what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You know, he was very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent if, like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him and I wanted him to, you know, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, you know, I always believed that he was. But that unfortunately did not really happen. For a long time, I think about a year and a half from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse, but I
Guys,
mean,
just talk about
honestly,
Mizkif.
I'm
You
not
said it
even
already.
gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover.
Is that Red Bull in the background? What is that colorful
It's
can?
honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse.
Well,
I see a lot of people saying other things that really upset me, but the Emmy one is a serious thing that I want to take serious, and we will be discussing that, okay? I wrote this myself, so I don't know if it's even good.
No ChatGPT.
Because I can't write for shit. It's not through ChatGPT. Shut up.
I don't think that makes sense, by the way.
It's not through ChatGPT.
Has to be.
Shut up.
Chat,
like-
I'm not,
It's not, bro.
I'm not
shut
gonna
up.
lie,
It's
chat.
not through ChatGPT. You really
Guys,
think
It's 100% ChatGPT.
ChatGPT
I will
and I'm
not-
writing something out because it's like, oh, hold on. Like,
I've
bro,
run a
shut
lot
up.
of shit through ChatGPT.
Yes, really.
Yeah,
60%
we'll instantly know.
ChatGPT
Really?
scan
No,
is-
it's Sora
doesn't
AI. I
really
have an
mean
entire
much.
video made.
No,
What is wrong
I'm not
with you,
trying to
Chad?
devalidate anybody.
What is
I
wrong
said
with
that earlier. I'll stand on business.
I wish I could show you how much red is in this to show you that I each other is spaced. It's so stupid. I'm not a good writer, bro. I'm not a good writer. So okay, let's
go.
get to this, shall we? No stalling. I'm taking out of sub-only mode. I don't really care. I know that there's a lot of people that want to speak and they can. I have no problem with that. This is a very serious situation that I was told. I know a lot of other people are saying things about me as well on top of this, but this is the thing I want to talk about. So let's talk about it, shall we?
That
And then we
does
can
not
go
include
into
me. I'm chilling on
Okay. So, this is April of 2021. Okay,
Whoa.
I'm gonna write everything down. Everyone, just chill and let me hear this out. Okay.
That's when I started getting
We met
better at
online when we
Warzone.
were playing AT&T Annihilator Cup. This is me and Emmy.
Alright, I'm going for
I was
swings.
introduced to her
This
through it, and my
chat,
chat
man.
started to like us hanging out. I didn't have feelings for her or anything, but I thought we could start hanging out more and be friends. So we met through the Annihilator Cup. A lot of you guys know
Feels like I'm back in freaking 8th standard or 9th standard with all these teenager girls and boys talking about all these crap, bro.
this.
I never got invited,
I
by the
was
way.
playing with her. My chat liked her a lot. She was fun to hang out with. So we started hanging out. We started to play games with each other on stream, and we started to grow closer together. We started calling each other, and we were flirting. We didn't do anything, but it was pretty obvious that Emiru had feelings for me as well as I had for her. But we couldn't really do anything because at the time, she was dating a girl named Bonnie, another cosplayer from
Huh?
another state. Each other, and we were flirting. We didn't do anything, but it was pretty obvious that Emiru had feelings for me as well as I had for her. But we couldn't really do anything because at the time, she was dating a girl named Bonnie,
Dating a girl?
another cosplayer from another state, and I was dating Maya.
I still can't believe your
Me and
pro
Maya
sniper
broke up.
story from earlier.
If it was ChatGPT, it would have been like Maya and I broke up. So yeah, his English is bad. Never
I
mind.
broke up with her because the relationship
Miss,
felt
shut
stagnant, and Maya's sanctuary started to take over a lot of her life, and
real
we
story.
hardly had time to hang out with each other. Since Maya moved out, I knew I wanted a streamer to move into the house, preferably a girl to farm content with, but I didn't want it to happen so fast. I didn't know if I wanted to be Emmy, but she told me about a stalker that came to her house with a
sweating.
bat, and she didn't live at her house anymore. I'm telling you everything, chat, okay? Come on. I'm telling you the whole story.
That's fair.
Sit down and relax.
I think that's fair enough.
take a seat.
I'm gonna listen.
I told her to come move in with me in Austin because she had a stalker, and we want to make content, and the guy will probably be scared since there's a bunch of people around instead of her in her Kansas home by herself. From there, our relationship started growing very fast. Within just weeks of moving in, she would sit in my room with me late at night, and I would watch Pokemon over and over again, Season 1. I loved it because she made me feel like it felt like my childhood and a place of calmness. She would fall asleep in my bed. With some nights, we would touch our backs or legs together. We knew we liked each other. We just knew it was a bad idea. Talks of her joining OTK happened fast as well.
I'm getting secondhand embarrassment through his storytelling, bro. Is it weird?
And I knew that if we were potentially going to date, we'd have to keep it a secret. Nobody was allowed to know. Streamers as well were already starting to resent me, saying that it was a shitty thing that I moved Emmy in so fast and replaced Maya so quickly. If people found out we were dating, I could be hated by my peers and lose what I created in OTK. I didn't know if we were going to date, and I knew if we were going to make it happen, it was going to be very stressful. But I had no idea what was going to come.
In such cases, Vishal, scripts are required because when you're telling a story, you can skip chapters if you're like literally just reading it off your mind, dude. When you practice something, you're like, "Acha, main stage pe jaake ye bolunga." There's a very big chance you'll actually miss out on things that you were supposed to say. So it's always better to write it down. And he wants to go in chronological order, so nobody's confused, you know.
It was the beginning of January of 2022. Emmy just had her huge party in an arcade celebrating her birthday on stream. Everyone from Austin was there, and as we were celebrating her joining OTK, there was a huge scare. Someone outside in the parking lot rammed into my Audi R8 and drove off. And while we were outside thinking it was a schizo viewer, we were told that the person who just hit my car was now inside holding a gun.
What?
This scared us to no end.
XQC.
Me and Connery's pants ran inside in fear to get everyone out and make sure everything is okay. My first concern was Emmy. I wanted her to be safe. The cops came, the drunk driver did have a gun, and was sentenced to 3 to 5 years in prison. Me and Emmy were terrified that night. And on the way home, I grabbed her hand, and she grabbed mine. And we knew we were traumatized, and we didn't want to let go. We would wake up together, stream together, and hang out with each other all night. She quickly became my best friend, and someone that I felt for the first time I was in love with.
Yo,
we hung out all day,
guys, we
every
listened
day.
to Emmy's
We were
story.
always so happy with each other.
I'm listening to his. Like, I was being weird about it.
Playing games until the night, loving every moment we were with each other. It felt poor.
I think it's important to give everybody his story a chance.
I remember one day I left my house. She called me just so we can be on the phone together, as we always did. And we were playing a song called Falling in Love with You with Elvis came on, and I felt that love. First time
Bro, he's
I felt
making
love
sound very
for her,
romantic, you know?
I thought I'd want to
Romanticizing.
never let go. The first year of our relationship, we almost had no fights. We started to date officially in January of 2022, and up until my cancellation, everything was perfect. She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got a bruise from it, and I stopped.
Someone super chatted. XQCL.
That's all that happened. I will throw you and show you an example, chat.
Damn, hold on.
Right here. Look at me.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't look. Wait.
Throw it.
I would throw my phone on the bed. I would just lob it over because I was going to bed. So I would just throw the phone.
And that hit her face.
That's it. And when that's the whole thing. I didn't throw it at her. I want to make that very clear. I never threw it at her. I never hit her. And she even said in her situation that she bruises easily.
I'm willing to intake this information.
She brushed over that I threw water bottles with her on my
Yeah, the bottles though.
or my phone near her, but that wasn't during our fights. It would be throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got bruises from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. That's it. I did feel a lot of stress over the time of our relationship up until this point from her stalkers. From the ones that would show up at her old house, and also stalkers that just had from her TikTok postings. We found after being with each other that her stalkers had a lot from would come to her a lot from her short form content.
Chat, from a PR standpoint,
these people were
no
schizophrenic
joke.
and would think that she is talking to them.
I would just bite the bullets.
Whether it was
on
songs she played,
releasing
the way she
stalker
looked at the
stuff.
screen, or just the titles of the
sure.
videos, these people started to feel she was talking to
Sometimes all
them
drama is just say you
and
were
come to
5
our
minutes.
house to stalk her. These people thought in their heads they were dating her. They were out of their mind and dangerous. I told her if we're going to be serious about this relationship, I need her to stop posting as much and to not farm these people. She agreed and understood that it was a safety concern for not only me, but the house. Russell, Simply, Corey, or anyone that was in my house or anyone that was near us. She agreed that she wouldn't want to hurt anyone else and knew that posting these types of TikToks and posts can mess with us and is something I'm not comfortable with as a guy. So she would tell me that if I had a problem to let her know. And at first it was minor things here and there, but over time it got harder and harder to deal with.
I don't think I understand.
People are typing
There
in
were more
script.
stress on top of this. We both had to hide the relationship from
Hey, what's up?
everyone. If anyone found out or was known, I could get in a ton of trouble with OTK and cause a ton of problems. Would you guys stop spamming never sub, never donated?
Wait, Vishal, you're in VC right now?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Chat.
Relax.
I wasn't listening that much. You say posting stuff unrelated?
I told her
or
if we were going to
posting
be
stalkers
serious
on
about this
TikTok?
relationship, I need to stop posting as much and to not farm these people. And then there was more stress on top of this. We both had to hide the relationship from everyone. If anyone found out or was known, I can get in a ton of trouble with OTK and it can cause a ton of problems in my life. So I lied to all of my old friends, S-Fan included, who lived just next door to me.
It's controlling,
and
but
everyone
it's
in
not...
OTK. And that was very hard for me to do.
Stay strong, Miz. This will pass.
We had a doggy door between our rooms just so we can hide it
It
from
might be
everyone else,
insecure,
including my
controlling, but
roommates.
up to this point, it's still a
We
boundary.
would lock the
some
doors
people
to
have,
avoid our
like-
roommates finding out. As time went on, they found out, but to most of our friends in the Austin circle, they never officially knew. That stress alone would drive anyone mad, but our love for each other was strong and we knew we can handle it.
Okay.
So, in September in 2022, a lot of you guys know, I was canceled by Trainwrecks and others trying to claim I covered up sexual assault. It was proven wrong, but that destroyed my mental health. I felt like my brain cracked, and I was never the same since. I was suicidal, depressed, and I didn't know what to do with my own life. Every day felt like an absolute nightmare. I was losing OTK, my mental health, and all my friends. Emiru was one of the only people that were there for me. She ditched sponsors to go with me to Japan.
Dry our lips.
She went with me
don't
anywhere I
take them
needed
now.
because she wanted me to be happy. And she knew sometimes I freaked out. I lashed out. But she loved me and she knew I was in a terrible mental place. It got so bad that stress and constant talking about the same things over and over and no sleep and depression that most of my hair started to fall out and Emiru started to hurt herself while we were in Japan.
I'm listening.
Yeah. Waiting.
As this time happened, I was a massive wreck. I couldn't think straight, and being that Emiru hung out with me all day, she too started to become high-strung. Ugh. We would yell at each other, fight, and argue all the time. Things we never once did. I felt this relationship was taking a huge strain. But I thought it could be fixed over time since things were just so amazing that first year. But
I think people are being too harsh about this.
as we
As
stayed
in,
around
like,
longer, I started resenting her a lot more. You can take it out of remote only mode.
No, it seems normal so far, except for the
As we
throwing
stayed
and
around
stuff.
longer, I started resenting her a lot more.
I can leave you on later, but
I never want to talk about
like
I'm over here
Emiru has a
stroking
lot
my
of rabbits.
lotion
It was her
on
calling
my
when she
right
first
now.
moved
I'm
in.
just stroking my shit.
These
I'm
were a
horny
big
as
part
fuck
of her
when
life.
I'm a freak
But
on
as
the
those
bike.
rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to
biased.
see
I'm
disgusting
Rabbits?
neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come
Holy
over,
fuck, I am
would
going
give
to
them
come
what they
7,
needed,
7,
and I would
7,
tell her
7,
all the
7,
time to
7,
take care of them,
7,
but to
7,
no
7,
avail.
7,
That's not my idea.
She
7,
completely
7,
neglected
7,
those
7,
rabbits,
7, 7,
so
7,
much
7,
that
7,
many of them
7,
just
7,
died
7,
over
7,
1
7,
year
7,
of
Whoa.
being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they
7,
felt
7,
terrible.
7,
And my brother
7,
once came
7,
over and
7,
said, and I
7,
quote,
7,
"If you
7,
ever
He
marry
doesn't
this
hear it.
woman,
He
I'll
doesn't
never
have
forgive
headphones.
you."
7, 7, 7, 7, 7,
he doesn't. I still about to yes, I'm mine. Jesus Christ!
With it, and I was not mentally well. I walked away. I went to her door, and as I opened it, The last words I ever heard her say is, "Don't go. I love you." That week, I made flights to Japan because I didn't want to sit around and wait to possibly get back together again. I have never...
I wish I was rich enough to do that. I'm upset. I booked flights to Japan because I didn't want to sit around.
talked to her in person since.
Why?
I have messaged
Change
her
your
numerous
title, bro.
times wondering
Name
why
title.
I have been removed from OTK, Discords, and I was very scared because I didn't know what was going on. Nobody was talking to me or contacting me, and I have had so much regret. Times where I wanted to go back, times where I've drunk messaged her love letters, as you saw on stream. But after 10 months, I know we're much better off.
Hold on.
A lot, and I'm never gonna not admit that. And I realized I need to be alone. I never got kicked out of Austin, Texas. I left myself. I'm absolutely mentally fucked. I have been slowly working on it. I do feel like I've been getting better. I feel like I'm very calm right now. I don't feel stressed. I don't even feel angry. I feel that every day I'm trying to learn more and more and do better, but I'm going to stand up for myself in a lot of these situations because a lot of it was not true. And I don't like that she was portraying that it was just me who was at fault. It was a toxic relationship, and that's what it was. Why was viewership so important? I will bluntly say this, and I'm very honest. I was, and I still am, but I very much was someone that was massively obsessed with streaming and viewership. And when my cancellation happened, and even before it, I mean, it's something you guys know. I've been massively obsessed with streaming and viewership over the years, and it's disgusting and it has ruined my fucking life. It is something that I am envious of others. I am angry at others because of it. It makes me jealous when I see others doing well, and it has made me realize that I am I'm never happy for someone else if they're doing much better than me. You guys know this is true if you watch my old stream. I've always been this way. I've been very envious of other people, and it's a problem. I'm definitely way better than I was now, or I am now, but it's a serious problem that I am still working on to this day. I am not perfect, and I fucked up with that. I've been this way for a very fucking long time, where I'm a competitive dude, and I think I'm very competitive with streaming because I really care about it a lot. I've sunk my whole life into this thing. Did you really drive 150 miles an hour? I'm going to say this very clear. If you know me in Austin, Texas, I drive fast everywhere. I drive fast literally everywhere. I'm in an Audi R8 in Austin, Texas, where the freeways are open. I drive fast all the time. I remember one time when she was picking me up from the airport, and she was in her blue Corvette, and she started the speed when we were on a straightaway when she was getting mad, and she stayed quiet. I don't remember the exact speed she got up to, but we were definitely flying. But I'll say this. I have no problem admitting fault. The person that I was during that relationship, and I would say the Mizkif in Austin, Texas is fucking disgusting. I hated myself. I hated this person that just sat there all day, stressed and angry and mad at the fucking world. I hated being this upset person because I know you are who you hang out with. And I definitely changed Emmy in a lot of ways and made her very stressed as well, and mentally the situations we were in, it just cataclysmed both of us. I was a very toxic person, and I knew I needed to get out, so I broke up with her. In fact, I broke up with her twice. The first time I broke up with her, I really thought it was over, and the second time I broke up with her was forever. I did message her a lot afterwards, primarily for OTK stuff, but there were times where I did want to go back to her. I'm not going to pretend I didn't. I was drunk. I thought I needed to, but yeah, that's it. I don't think there's really anything else to talk about. This is something I've
to start streaming,
what
so
you saw?
I'm going to include one of the Phase Boys' reactions.
He's like, Emmy was also violent. She would throw all those
flashes.
cushions and I would punch the wall. Dude, how is that the same
Totally
thing?
perfect.
But Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression.
No, I gotta be getting trolled. Wait, I'm not even kidding. Is this a joke? Did I just hear him say she threw a plushie at her?
Dude, what the heck?